and welcome to yet another episode of the Roundabout Podcast. This is episode 29. I am your host, Austin Suddeth. With me, I have 1, Michael Levine, 1, Hunter Brittle, 0, Shane Nicewongers, and 1, Tyler McClellan. How you boys doing?
Doing well.
Good. That was a very chill intro.
Apparently, you guys aren't having as good of a 2026 as I am.
Well, tell us how good your 2026 is going.
I wouldn't say it's going exceptionally well, but it hasn't been bad. I'll say that. It's just been normal. About 11 days of work for me, give or take holidays and weekends in there. But I have had no quarrels with 2026.
Don't you work on weekends?
I do. I work on Saturdays, but not Sundays. So like today I was off.
That's nice.
So yes and no.
Tyler, how's your 2026 been?
It's not been bad. It's not been great. Pretty boring, all things considered. Very busy with work. I know the little AI conversation gets briefly brought up in here occasionally, but a good chunk of my new year has been spent setting up a new AI intake agent at work. So a bunch of test calls, a bunch of sending in data and advice and scripts and all sorts of things for this AI that we have deemed Caroline. Her name is Caroline, apparently.
That's a soothing name, though.
It is. I agree. I will say I've been fairly impressed with how conversational Caroline is and how effective she is at like I'm just basically acting as if I'm a client who's looking to set up a consultation for some nature of legal matter. And it's actually pretty impressive how well she can guide a conversation. This isn't your standard, AT&T or whoever you call and it's like, I can hear in full sentences, tell me what you want help with, right?
God,
and you ask for billing.
Piss me off.
Those, every time I talk about it, that's what the reaction I get. That's not at all what it is. Caroline is fully conversational. You can talk to her just like you would an actual person. It's actually almost surreal talking to her sometimes. So I'm excited to get it rolling. Let me be honest. I'm excited to be done working on it is what I'm excited for. But I think it'll be helpful work-wise.
Well,
That's an interesting concept, using that in as an intake for a business like that. Like, I know I was talking with my grandparents a couple weeks ago, and my granny was just gushing over the I think it's the Alexa AI that they have. I guess they got a free trial of whatever the AI Alexa is. I think there's another name for it, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But she was just could not get over how conversational Alexa was, and she was having whole ass conversations with this AI and just would not stop singing its praises. And I'm like, oh gosh, she's just going to be talking to this AI more than she's going to be talking to Gramps in his last couple years on Earth. And I'm like, oh crap, Granny, please don't. Stop it now. I'm scared.
Yeah. Again, there's so many different directions you can go with that conversation, but in terms of like our business, it's really cool. And one of the big things, I know you said it's interesting in like the legal field. One of the big things in the legal field that you have to look at from an intake perspective is you don't want your employees to, for lack of a better word, to try to be attorneys. A lot of them will start to try to do some legal analysis and read into situations and figure out if it's a good case or bad case, even though that's not their job. Caroline's not going to do that. She's going to ask them the questions, take objective yes or no's or whatever, and plug them into the system. So it's an awful thing, but to an extent, it's the taking our jobs thing, right? She can do it better almost. Now, of course, there's always going to be people that want to talk to a real person and all that. And if they ask, they'll get transferred directly. But I really am curious to see how it will fare and what the outside reactions will be once we actually get it implemented and people start calling into it. I'll update you all in the podcast once all that happens.
Are you going to set it up so that like it says that, hi, I'm Caroline, I'm your firm's AI assistant or something like that? Or is it not going to say that and people are going to think that they're actually talking to a real person? Because I think that would yield better results than saying than like announcing and making it known that you're talking to an AI program?
No, it's a great question. We had that
You have to
conversation.
disclose it for legal reasons, right?
You don't, but we wanted to. More for ethical reasons, I guess. Obviously being a law firm, there's a lot of ethics things that are at play, and we can get in more trouble for it than other places. But we did ask the company, and they said no, there's no legal obligation to disclose it. She can pick up the phone and say, "Hi, this is Caroline with how can I help you?" I probably, I shouldn't have said the name of the firm, but here we are.
Yeah, you should probably bleep that out into the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll cut that.
bleep that one for me, Michael. But nonetheless, she can answer the phone, but she does. Now she kind of glosses over it. It's more just I'm the AI I'm the AI agent here, and just keeps rolling. But honest to God, there are a lot of people that I really don't think would know. I genuinely think it would fool quite a lot of people, because they even give like if she's thinking, she'll even like say or or like make those little noises of thought processing. It's super bizarre. There are a lot of unnatural delays in the way she talks, especially before she says a name. Like before she says your name, she'll kind of like pause for a second, that if you're paying attention are a little unnatural. But really, all in all, I can imagine it will, I don't want to say fool, because that's not the intention, but a lot of people won't even realize it. They'll just talk to it like they would anybody else, and probably schedule something without even ever realizing it.
Yeah, I've always been curious about that because, like you said, I'm used to the really poor AI where you call in and they're like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so with such and such. I can speak in full sentences." And then you talk to it and they're like, "Okay, let me get to you." And it's just like, God, it's so
Yeah.
bad. And I'm just so ready to get over talking to the quote unquote voice mail with semi thought to just get to a real person, that if like I could see like in this kind of instance, if it is as good as you claim it to be, where if it is like, okay, it's like having an actual conversation, I could probably be a lot more comfortable with it that way.
Yeah, no, I think you would. Now, I'll be honest. Like, I don't think any of us in this call would, or in this podcast would answer it and realize it. We would realize it is an AI, but it's a very conversational one. But the worst part, Austin, about the ones you're talking about, and this drives me insane, why anybody ever thought it was a good idea to add this to these, I have no idea, is the fake typing noise in the background. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh God,
Click,
yes.
I
click, 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 click.
hate that. That is my least favorite thing of any. Like, I don't mind a robot here and there for a company that it's like a billing question or whatever. If I just need a specific answer, I don't mind that. But the typing noise makes me want to throw my phone out a window. But nonetheless,
Well, so it's like, could y'all not have Foleyed an actual keyboard being typed on? Like, it's not hard. Set up a microphone, point it at a keyboard,
Right.
and type.
yeah, it's not even a good sound.
But it's like it's this weird fake one. Yeah, it's so weird. Have y'all run into this at any restaurants, like fast food restaurants or anything?
I've never.
The
Does the Bojangles
Bojangles
do it?
in the the Bojangles in the Charlotte area is the only one I know of. They made our Bojangles here at home. They turned it to the AI, but then it eventually kind of went away. I don't know if it just wasn't doing well or what.
When's the last time you called a fast food restaurant?
No.
No, like
No,
a
but
drive
it's like-
through.
They use it in the drive-thru.
Oh,
Yeah, like
I missed that part. I was confused.
yeah. I mean, I didn't. I kind of assumed you would pick up on that fact based on, again, who calls a fast food place. But yeah, the Taco Bell over here by the house is the first place that I noticed using it, and it, to Tyler's point, it really was pretty good. Like, you can tell it's an AI, but it wasn't like all the crappy ones that used to, the crappy automated stuff where you had to repeat yourself 5 times. Like, you can just talk normally to it, and I actually kind of like it because I know I'm not talking to a person, because
Right.
I just hate talking to people in those kind of scenarios. It's why I order on apps now. Like, I would much rather just place my order ahead of time and then show up on the one to be like, "My name's Michael," and they're like, "Okay." And like the Taco Bell one does that. You roll up and they're like, "What can we order for you today?" And you're like, picking up a mobile order for Michael, and they're like, "Please pull around." And it's like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, so the like the same with the Bojangles. It was pretty solid, and I think what made it decent, it had good voice recognition. Like I don't ever really remember having to repeat much with it. The thing is, though, is it didn't try to act conversational, even though it wasn't. It was just like literally just asking you what you wanted, and if you ordered a certain thing, do you want a side? Do you want a drink? No, okay. Like it wasn't trying to conversate and be like a normal person. The one thing, there were a few
fine.
little quirks.
Don't
with
conversate with me when I'm doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, when I ordered, when I get breakfast at Bojangles, I get a sausage biscuit, but I also get a side of white gravy because I like to dip it in the gravy. It's like a gravy biscuit, but with more stuff on it. But
It's
if you
genius,
ordered
actually.
gravy, it always did brown gravy. And so every time I ordered gravy, I'd have to make sure at the window that they knew it was white gravy and not brown gravy, even if I said white gravy. So little quirk with the Bojangles agent, but I didn't mind it. Honestly, it's arguably better than having to talk to some of the employees at our local Bojangles.
Well, yeah, that and like you said, like don't try and converse with me or like just this is a transaction. I'm telling you what I want. You're telling me how much money I owe you. Let's be done with it.
Yeah, Starbucks is I like Starbucks coffee, but some of the employees there drive me nuts especially if you have to wait on it. They're just sitting there out the window. So how's your day? Where you headed? Like, dude, it's 6:30 in the morning. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone.
Give me my coffee and leave.
Yeah, and most of the time I'm listening to a podcast or something. I don't want to have
Yeah.
to pause that to talk to you.
No, and I know they're just doing their job. This is not an attack on any individual Starbucks company or employee. It is, however, an attack on Starbucks training. Tell your people to leave the customers alone, please.
No, see, I'm going to say
just do
I
the job.
disagree. Like, if I'm going to a place, especially one where I know I have to wait for something, like a lot of fast food places you go and they've just got a stash of like burgers in the back and they're just waiting for you to order one and they've wrapped it and it's already in a bag. But I can go and say, like, if I know I'm going to a place, it's being made fresh. I know fresh coffee is like kind of weird to say, like in this context, but if I know they are making it right then and there, having some kind of dialogue makes me feel like I'm not just another, I don't know, like another sandwich that was just waiting in the back to be getting rid of so they don't waste inventory space. Like, I don't know, something about specifically like a barista. That's why we have fast food employees and then we have a barista. Like, they have their nice title. Like, I don't know, something about that just makes me feel better if they're trying to like talk to me while I'm waiting. But that's me.
Yeah, that is valid. I mean, that's fair. And I will say for me, I think it's more of an individual perspective. I've always worked in customer service. Even now where I'm at now, I talk to clients and employees all the time. Like, I'm always talking to people, always being social. And so I think when I go to somewhere like that, it's like I don't want to talk. That's why when we go on vacations, we go to quiet places. We don't go to crowded places. It's just, but I will say, and this is really, now that I'm saying it out loud, it's kind of unfair. There is a happy medium because there's a lot of, it drives me nuts if I pull up to a window and they don't say anything at all. Right? Nothing. Like, just hand me a bag, take my money. That to me is the opposite end of it.
Oh, that's
But-
best case scenario.
See, and that's fair. Maybe I'm just unfair. Maybe I want you to find the perfect amount of talk to me.
Like, if the only word I have to say is thank you as I'm rolling up my window to leave, excellent transaction, 5 stars. We'll visit here again.
Right? Confirm my order, and that is it.
Michael is a people adjacent person, not a people person.
I don't even know if I'm
adjacent.
people adjacent, if I'm honest.
No.
That's even
I'm
like
people
next
all the
to
way the
me,
hell
like-
over there.
I'm like, yeah, I'm people adverse. I'm about as introverted as it gets.
Well, Austin, Michael, you never told us how your 2026 was going so far.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, mine's been, last week when we were discussing how our 2026 was starting, everything was pretty decent. This week, it's on fire. My wife has been sick with a kidney infection. On top of that, the baby was exposed to hand, foot, mouth from the daughter of the lady who keeps him during the week. So then we've kept him home. He started running fever, and so we thought that was going to be a whole thing. Thankfully, it hasn't really broken out in all the typical like blisters and stuff that comes with that, but he's just been sick and miserable. And to try and keep the big kid from getting it, we've been isolating, so keeping the house separate. So like I have barely seen my wife. Today was the first day nobody was running fever. So we rejoined the house all back together. But before that, I hadn't really seen my wife for more than about 5 minutes since Sunday. So it's been a fantastic week so far of just illness and managing the children while my wife recovered, and then being isolated from my wife while she had one of the kids and I had the other. And it's been great. I got the last episode of the podcast finished editing last night at about 11:30, and then the baby woke up about 11:40 and didn't go back to sleep until 2 a.m. And I was on shift last night, letting my wife try and continue to recover from her problems, from her infection. And he woke up at just a little before 5 o'clock this morning for the day. So I've been running on about 3 hours sleep today. So if I'm a little out of it for the podcast, that's why. The brain's just not all there right now. But yeah, that's what that is how my 26 has deteriorated in the last week.
That sounds awesome.
I don't know that's how I would describe
it's been a blast. It's been a blast.
Certainly one of the starts to the year of all time, let me tell you.
I was going to say that it feels about on par for 2026 for me.
Yeah, so how's your 2026 continuing?
Oh boy.
You told us about two of your 4 days last week.
Yeah. So last week I went through and kind of explained some good, some bad. The good part was me
lost a drone.
Yeah. I mean,
found a
drone.
sushi bazooka.
Not a drone, just a RC.
An RC helicopter.
Yeah. Lost that. So the day after we recorded that, I'm on my sushi kick. Let me, because if you know me, whenever I find a new food, I will make that food for an annoying amount of time because I want to make
all
it
in on it.
Good. Yes. Like, it's like, okay, I start with like a basic. So like I made, like in the past, my chicken teriyaki is like one of my favorite things to make. And I make my own teriyaki sauce. And so I was making teriyaki sauce far too much, like annoying my wife with it. Like every time I'd make a new teriyaki, I'd go in there, we're like, taste this. And she'd be like, it's good. I was like, yeah, but was it better than last time? She goes, it's good. I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm going back into the kitchen and starting again. And so that
means
me.
It's not good enough.
Yeah, that's me when I cook. So last Sunday, first time making sushi, it turned out very basic, just the basic of it. So the following night, I was like, yeah, I'm going to kind of get it more fancy. I'm going to do like strips of cucumber in it because I always like that nice, refreshing cucumber with that, which is just rice, crab meat, cucumber, cream cheese, and avocado. Like cucumber would be great in this. I've had many just basic rolls that are like this, then that cucumber really kind of puts that all together. So I was using a mandolin. For those of you who don't know, it's a flat board that has a sharp razor blade basically going through the middle, and you run stuff across it. Well, I don't have the guard for this. You're always supposed to use a guard. No one needs to comment and tell me I should have used the guard. I know I should have used the guard. I didn't. And I ended up slicing off the tip of my finger. Just clean cut. I mean, it was a clean cut. It sliced smooth through, fully off. And so I have been still dealing with that 7 days later. That was roughly around 6 o'clock at night. And it was still bleeding 5 hours later.
How was your cannibal sushi though?
It was such a good clean cut that it didn't bleed immediately, that I was able to get it over to the sink before I bled on anything, thankfully.
Yeah, but did you leave the chunk of your finger in the sushi?
Well, it was on the blade. It was on the bottom part of the blade, so it didn't go into. I mean, you don't.
Oh, it didn't. Okay, it didn't come off.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh well, no. The flesh came off.
No, sorry. I mean, it didn't come off the mandolin.
It was stuck on the bottom part of the mandolin. I was like, where is my fingertip? And I look in, it's stuck to the bottom part of the mandolin. Ended up just like,
So the sushi was salvageable.
yes. Well, and it was only the cucumber. That was the thing. I had actually
Okay, the
sliced
cucumber,
half of the cucumber perfectly. I was on the other half of the cucumber. So I had half of a cucumber perfectly put away, ready. So even if I did bleed all over this cucumber, I had plenty. But yeah, ended up an hour later after almost passing out several times because I am a person, if I get a hand injury, I'm going to pass out. Don't know why. I can take needles anywhere on my body. I've had people try and give me an IV in my hand and it made me pass out. So hand injuries for me are like a weird pass out sentence. So fighting back, passing out, like Heather was trying to help doctor me up. And at one point, like I looked in the mirror and I had no color in any part of my face. Like my lips were is like white as a piece of paper. And I was like, I'm about to pass out. So I like literally like got down on the ground. I'm like, if I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall as close to the ground as possible. Ended up being able to get to the bed, rest up out of my own anger because it's like, I know this was stupid. I know I should have found a guard. I couldn't find the guard. I should have done something. Out of my anger, I got up an hour later after my body calmed down, made the sushi, and it ended up being really good. Ended up making it again 2 nights later, even better. Actually have a picture of it. Actually turned out really good. Like I had like the ratios right. I kind of put the topping on it to where it looked professional. So I was really happy about all my sushi, but it was kind of one of those things that I kept looking over at the mandolin just like in my sink and was just like, I'm gonna fight you one day. I don't know how I'm going to, but I will fight this inanimate object for taking a chunk of my finger. My boss, when I told her, she immediately the next day was like, what are you doing here? Like, that's serious. I ended up going to the urgent care, got some heavy pain meds, some really good antibiotics to help with any infection that might brew. And they were like, oh, we just thought it was like a top layer of skin. I was like, no, the whole skin's gone. I got down to like the fat in my hand. And so it's still to this day, I have to bandage it every day, trying to keep it from bleeding. Every now and then it's still so deep that I do get a little bit in my bandage, but that has been my 7 days since the last podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, I know how the finger injuries go. I the week before we had our second child, I sliced my thumb about a 1/4 inch deep by about an inch long, to put on new strike plates on some French doors, and just being stupid and trying to drill a hole in a strike plate, and it started spinning and cut right through my thumb. And same thing. Like I don't have a hand injury problem per se, but I like just the pain and the like kind of sent me into shock for a minute. And it was the same thing. Like I was leaned over the sink trying really hard not to pass out while I bled in the sink. Yeah, I got 8 or 12 stitches. I don't remember. And yeah, I know how that goes. I mean, it was probably a good month before I really kind of felt like my thumb was not painful in some way or fashion.
Oh, the thing is I like I had the thought that night. It's like there's no point in me really going to the hospital because there's nothing to stitch. Like it's gone. The skin is gone. It's not like a cut where you can like put the skin back together. No, the skin was gone.
You've just got a slightly flatter fingertip now.
Yeah.
They actually can, if you like were to take the piece of skin that came off, if it's big enough, it does depend. But we had this happen around racing to a few different people I knew. You can actually take that skin that got taken completely off back, and if it's a large enough section, they actually can stitch it back on, and it most of the time will actually reattach and become healthy again.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I was just frustrated because I think, like, after the shock of the pain and the blood and everything, I was just kicking myself for 3 days. of like I knew it was a dumb thing I should have done. I didn't even need all of that cucumber. Like, I mean, a quarter of a cucumber is enough for like 8 sushi rolls. I was just like, I've got this here and I'll just do it. Got half of it done without incident. And I looked at it, I was like, man, that's a lot. And it was just like, I don't need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. And that's what got me. I shouldn't have been doing it the way I was doing it. I shouldn't have even done the amount that I did. But it was just like I was kicking myself so much that it's just like, I'm not going to go to the doctor and just have like more shame put on me, all self-inflicted, clearly. Funny enough, my my boss who told me to go home, she bought me a rotary slicer. So she said, here, so you don't hurt yourself again. Very thoughtful, fun gift and a fun way of doing it. But
no, that's so you don't miss work again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what that is. She doesn't want you to miss work.
To be fair,
yeah, I didn't have an option.
I was planning on working because I showed up for work, but it was like, hey, I'm not going to be able to use my finger for a few days. And to this day, I mean, it's 7 days in, and I have it heavily wrapped, heavily padded. I still can't type with my keyboard. I can press a key and it be fine with the padding. But as I start moving my finger and it starts scrunching up, any kind of scrunching motion hurts. So I can't grip at all with this finger. I can't, like, if it's bare, obviously I can't push on it at all. But just like, because I guess my keyboard has enough give to it, there's not a lot of pressure being pushed back on it. My keyboard at the office absolutely can. It's a cheap keyboard. So I've been typing for a week without a middle finger, which has always been like a weird feeling. But yeah.
Looks like Hunt and Peck is back on the menu, boys.
Yeah, I didn't have an option of not going. Mine was deep enough that I had to go to the urgent care and get stitches. There was no option. And my very pregnant could pop any time. Could have. She obviously didn't. We had to go get induced, but could have popped anytime wife and our 4-year-old. No, 5. He was 5 at that time. Had to load up so I could go get stitches because it's the same thing, right? Like you just feel so dumb afterwards because you're like you said, I was doing it. I knew it was the wrong way to do what I was doing, but I didn't want to go find the pliers to hold the stupid piece of metal. I did it. I'm like, you stupid fuck.
Yeah, immediately. Like that's your first thought. Like, I'm so done for putting myself in this position. Yeah, absolutely.
I was so mad. Yeah. And so I hear Tyler has been impacted by your injury as well.
Yeah, apparently it's hurt him more than me.
I didn't think that was going to be a podcast thing, but okay, here we are.
Nope, you want to be a victim, you're going to be a victim for everybody.
All of you lovely podcast viewers have heard Austin and I, or listeners, not viewers, have heard Austin and I talk about in virtually every episode for the past, 4 or 5 weeks now, if not more. We've been playing Tarkov a lot. Well, that same day, I believe it was that same day, maybe the next day. It was the day
after, yeah.
Yeah, I messaged Austin, all ready to play some Tarkov. I got excited about it. And he hits me back with...
After he was ripping you for not being available.
Yeah, this was after last week when he was ripping me for not being available, rightfully so. I want to say you gave a pretty funny response to it. Okay, it wasn't that funny. He said, unfortunately, no, cut off a chunk of my finger last night. And so we had a bit of a conversation, which ended with be more careful around kitchen objects. But yeah, so I'm claiming a little bit of victimhood from Austin as well, I think.
He has stolen victimhood.
Yes.
You have stolen valor from my injury.
But I have to say, Austin, I'm assuming we'll put this up on YouTube for the podcast. Seeing your picture of the sushi, 2 comments. I'm not a big sushi person, but this looks really good. I'm very impressed by your ability to get that yellow sauce only on the sushi. It does not look like there's any spillover onto the plate. I don't know if that was post-cut or pre-cut, but if not, it looks great. Second point, based on what you're talking about with how you cook and how you go that extra level and take it a little too far, maybe, I do the same thing. And yet, I will have the nicest looking dish, the crispiest, best coated steak you've ever seen in your life. And in our house, it's still going to sit on a paper plate. So I'm glad to know I'm not the only one.
Well, yeah. So the paper plate decision is because if I put it on a real plate, that means I have to do dishes.
Yeah, no, 100%. I love
It's hard,
cooking.
hard
I
to do
hate cleaning
dishes
up.
when you don't have a hand.
Let's not get too carried away here. You have a hand, just lost a bit of the finger.
I can't use it. I couldn't use it at that time. The
That's
sauce
fair.
was actually post cut, so I did.
Yeah, that's
cut
actually-
the
I'm impressed
rolls
that-
and then put the sauce on top.
Yeah, no, that's very well prepared. Very what's the term they always use in the cooking shows? The presentation is perfect.
Yeah, it is a nice spicy mayo with oyster sauce on top.
Blind sushi challenge for Extra Life next year.
Yeah, I would be willing to try that.
Oh, that
sushi,
one was
and I'm not a sushi
phenomenal.
person.
Like, I was so happy with the way that one turned out. The issue with it that I did not realize was going to be an issue. I had bought, because I used imitation crab. That's what you buy for sushi rolls. If for those of you who do not know what imitation crab is, it is actually a fish. I think it's like an Alaskan halibut. I don't remember, that they make and they color it, and it just tastes similar to crab meat. That's why it's called imitation crab. When you buy imitation crab, it comes in a package, and I did not realize how long that was going to last me. I made over 7 rolls, and I still had half the package left. And so the next day, it was just like, I've got to do something with this. So I made crab meat fried rice and just threw the rest of it in there. And like my fried rice, it was like half of it was crab meat. And it's just like there was so much left. So we kind of took a break on the sushi because it's like we just had imitation crab for 7 days straight.
Yeah, that's a fair reason. Speaking of having too much of the same food for an extended period of time, Brittle, you were telling us something earlier. Didn't you say somebody had won a contest of some nature, a food contest?
Oh yeah, so our friends, so we've been doing this pizza, keeping track of our pizza count, seeing how we are against the national average. Some of our friends recently won, quote, free pizza for a year from Little Caesars, which actually in the fine print is 1 large pizza a week, which honestly is false advertising in my opinion.
I agree.
That's all those things, though. That's all of them. All of them are like, hey, free X for a year. And then it's like, well, but you can only do 1 every so often.
Well, I'm curious then, what do they have to offer to constitute to be able to advertise free whatever for a year or for life or whatever?
Right? There has to be
What's-
a line somewhere.
What's the minimum?
That's a good point. I mean, I assume it has to be on some sort of like cadence. But yeah, that's a good point. Like, is if you could only do it once per month for a year, is that? I mean, technically, you're still getting free pizza for a year.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just once a month.
You get 1 this year, free pizza for a year.
Yeah.
See, my thought was
That-
like the
I would
average
be curious about that,
household
yeah.
might, or like the most an average household might order is 1 pizza a week. So
Which is a
they might
fair
have to, like-
assumption.
yeah. So it's like they might be going off of that. Like, what is the an average kind of thing?
Well, there's some animals out there that would order it every day.
True.
Yeah, I was about to say, you
Right.
disregard people's ability to take advantage of something to not spend money. People,
Oh,
even
no, I
people
would
that
be that
don't like
person.
pizza would. I would 100%. Now, granted, I like pizza, but there are definitely people, even if they didn't like pizza, that would eat pizza every single day for the rest of this year just because it's free and they can.
Do you know how much money I'm saving on food?
Single guys in college are not allowed to sign up for this contest.
Yeah, like, dude, God forbid a college student wins that and they can do it every day. Little Caesars is going to go bankrupt.
Well, and I think it might also too have to be, you can't just like go in every 10 minutes and be like, hey, I want to
Let me get 20 pizzas.
It's gonna they're gonna run Little Caesars out of business.
Well, I think it was American Airlines that they used to sell the like lifetime ticket or whatever.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there were like,
They haven't. I think the last time they did it was about 10 years ago.
yeah. Well, and
Never
there was
heard of
one
this.
guy
What?
that apparently has costed
Yeah.
them billions of dollars and how much he has flown on that ticket from like 30, 40 years ago.
Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say it started. I want to say, and I'm probably completely wrong, but just for the sake of the story, I'm just gonna guess. I think it started in the 70s. American Airlines, if I remember the story correctly, they were in financial trouble. So what they did to raise money quickly was they sold it's these like lifetime travel tickets for you and a partner, like an additional person. and it was like 200 grand for this lifetime thing. And I mean, they raise money quickly, but then it has in the long run cost them a tremendous amount of money. And like at one point they were trying to like find people who were abusing the system and like trying to figure out how they could like get them off the program or out of the program. But yeah, like you could book it anytime. So basically you could just be like, you know what? I want to go to New York for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
And just you and one other person just walk up, get on the plane, go to New York, and then fly home.
That's awesome. God.
Or more extreme, I think I want to go to an Irish pub tomorrow. And you fly to Ireland to go to this Irish
free
pub.
of charge.
Well,
Yeah.
$200,000.
Well, yeah,
not
correct,
free of
yeah.
charge.
Well, but
$200,000 up
Yeah.
front.
Right, but I mean,
But like you're talking about like business owners and stuff or whoever like that are flying constantly, how quickly they will make that up.
Oh yeah.
yeah, because cross country plane tickets are $500. So I mean, even at $200,000, that value over a lifetime, or at least a working life of, call it 35 years. I mean, buddy.
So it was introduced in the 1980s,
80s, yeah.
and it was $250,000.
Michael, how many times do you think you've flown if you had to put a guess on it?
Commercially?
Yeah.
Or just total?
Oh, yeah, I guess if you were flying private.
Yeah, this man flies only private. Did you not know?
he's a big baller.
Yeah.
I flew charters for many years in racing because charters were much more, in the long run, much more cost effective than trying to fly commercial to every racetrack and just time efficient. My goodness, I got so spoiled without like you drive up, you park, you walk up to the plane, you put your bag on the airplane yourself, you get wanded, like a dude runs a wand over you, and then you grab a meal and you sit down on the plane and you leave in about 20 minutes. It is so nice. But that was working for a professional sports team. How much have I flown commercial? Well, you know what? I could tell you how many lifetime miles I have on American, which has been my predominant, unfortunately, has been my predominant airline for most of my life. Let's see. I have, if I can get through all the pop-up ads.
Thank you, America. They're trying to recover from those lifetime
Right.
tickets.
Does the ad blocker apps not account for apps? Is that only for websites? For
I
the web
don't
browsers?
use ad blockers.
Oh,
I
dude.
don't use ad blockers. Yeah, hey, as somebody who benefits from our content having ads and people watching that and us getting money from that, I would appreciate it if people watched ads occasionally.
Yeah, Brittle,
Touché.
next time just tell us you don't want Roundabout to make it.
You don't have to worry
Oh
about
my
Brittle. He
gosh.
doesn't watch our content.
Yeah, Brodo doesn't watch our content anyway.
Yeah, I don't watch our content anyway. So what do you?
Yeah, that's true. We're not losing any ad revenue from Brittle.
I think
Moot
if I'm
point.
looking at this correctly, I have 152,000 lifetime miles.
As an uncultured person, I have no idea what that would equate to in terms of total flights.
That's a lot of miles, Tyler.
I mean, it just depends. Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on where you're
Yeah, of
flying,
course.
but like here to Dallas, from Charlotte to Dallas, is 1,000 miles,
Gotcha.
give or take. So I've flown from Charlotte to Dallas 150 times. Is that math right? 150? No, maybe.
Yes. You're
Did you
good.
say 1,000
My
miles and
brain's
you had
on.
150,000 miles? That'd be about 150 times.
It'll be 150 times.
That's not bad.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's a decent flight. So yeah. But well, this makes me curious. Then back to the original point of the pizza. If you could get one free large pizza every week for an entire year, assuming that pizza is cut into 8 slices, which I'm pretty sure is pretty standard across the board. How many slices of pizza is that in a year? Can somebody do the math on that?
Based on my math, it's 416.
That's a
You know,
lot of pizza.
Give or take, accounting for miscuts and whatnot. But yeah, which is the average. So the average is 46 slices, as we've established in our count. That's 416 would be over 9 people's worth of pizza for the year.
Or at the rate we're going, Shane's annual average.
I was about to say what Shane's trajectory is.
He hasn't slowed down, guys. Make him stop.
I just love hearing last week he was like, yeah, I'll take periods where I don't eat and the count's still going up.
Yeah, literally. I'll eat it for a little while and then I'll stop. One pizza per day, guaranteed.
Before we get too far away from it, I do want to circle back one quick time. Just some quick numbers on the what they call the AA Air Pass, or just Air Pass, I guess. It was introduced in 1981 for $250,000, which is equivalent to $865,000 in 2024 money. Increased to $600,000 in 1990, so the equivalent of $1.4 million in 24. And then increased again to 1.01 million. That's a weird, like, why 1.01 million in 1993, which is equivalent to 2.2 million in 24. It ended sales of the Unlimited Pass in 94, except for a one-time offer in 2004's Neiman Marcus Christmas catalog at a price of $3 million at the time, so $5 million in 2024 for the pass, and an additional $2 million for the companion pass. And nobody bought them at that number, surprising.
So you said it was $3 million to buy one of those?
Yes, and that one in 2004, and that did not include the companion pass. So if you wanted your pass and a companion pass, it was $5 million.
Yeah. So I'm doing the math now because according to the internet, yes, the AI overview, Austin,
God damn it.
the
Tyler.
average cost of a single airline ticket, and this isn't, I don't know if this is accounting for round trip or not, was around $305 in 2004. That would mean, to make that up, you would have to, and this is just going off of the numbers then, you would have to have flown 9,836 times to make up for that ticket.
Yeah, I was just running the numbers myself. Based on today's cost of flying from Charlotte to DFW. So like if I was going to go home, see Austin, see family, whatever, I would have to fly 6,250 times to make up that.
Yeah, see, that's when I'm going to Ireland for a drink at a pub.
Yes,
You'll get there tomorrow.
it has gotten harder to fly American overseas. If I remember correctly, and this was a long time ago, so I might not. And Melinda listens to the podcast. She'll be able to correct me. But I don't think we flew American over and back when we went on our trip to England. So those miles, I have miles of a trip to England and back that I don't think were included in my lifetime miles. I don't think we flew American, but I don't remember.
See, I flew American to Spain, and that was in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, maybe 2014. So I have those with me.
Yeah. One of the biggest reasons I don't think we did is we flew out of Atlanta, and Atlanta is a Delta hub and typically doesn't have very much in the way of American flights at all.
Gotcha.
So that's why I think we did.
See, mine went from DFW straight to Spain.
Yeah.
So I have a question that's going to be a callback to a pretty early episode. How do you think, and this is obviously very hypothetical, how do you think pneumatic tubes would affect transportation prices? So if instead of getting on a plane, you were getting on a pneumatic tube that took you to Dallas, that'd be quite the tube ride. Do you think it would be cheaper or more expensive?
I don't think I could do it that long.
You'd have to adjust for or account for cost of operation of the tube, which we don't even know how these things would operate as we so eloquently.
Well, I can go ahead and tell you're thinking way too far into this already.
Nope, you can't. No, you have to take into take into account all the variables.
You ask us, hey, how much do you think this would cost? And we go, well, it depends on how it operates. And you go, well, that's not the question
Right,
I asked.
I think
No,
it's
it was
gonna
the
cost
It's the
question.
question you asked.
Right.
The second you apply logic to an illogical question, it's out the window. It doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, the answer is 3. It's going to cost
Apparently,
3.
it's not that illogical.
Austin, that's the answer I was looking for. Thank you.
I don't like it. Were the pneumatic tubes in Futurama free?
Stupid.
Yes.
They looked free.
Well, then I guess it would. Then I guess
They
it would cost
absolutely
nothing.
were. You got into a tube. There was no card to swipe. There was no pass you got to present. You just got a
Well,
tube and it
but
went.
you
Yeah,
don't
you never
know
saw a
that
payment
they-
system.
You don't know that was not the modern day Netflix subscription to them.
But you got like a subdermal chip that scans you on the way in.
If we've got pneumatic tubes, yes, probably.
Yeah, they're doing that overseas. You can get a chip put in your hand for payment processing and different things.
Why?
So you don't have to carry a wallet, I guess.
I feel like RFID stealers would be having, like, you go for a handshake and now someone has all your payment information.
That's a good point.
Well, let's be real. Their payment processing system over there is significantly more robust than we have over here.
We have Dogecoin.
Yeah.
I still have gas stations when I tap pay, it'll say card read error 4 times and then make me swipe it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, so let's not use our present day as a good example for what others are doing.
I think the tap pay thing is overrated.
I love the tap pay.
I enjoy
I'm finally
it. I
converted.
use it on my phone.
Yeah, tap pay's great.
I have legitimately never used it.
Yeah, their security over there is significantly better than.
How long do you think it'll be before winter gloves start getting advertised with RFID blockers on them?
Winter gloves?
Yeah, if the chip's in their palm,
Right.
they're gonna have
Again,
gloves.
I don't think you need it based on the way their system works. I don't think you need.
I don't know how their system works for what it's worth, but I don't know. I'm just thinking like
You can't use a card. You can't use a card over there without having a PIN. Like there's no payment processing that you can do that you don't have to provide some sort of 2-factor authentication.
basically verification of some nature. So
it's not like our system where it's like, oh, I just put in all the information that's on the back of the card and I can pay for anything. Like there's a hidden, like there's a secret component to a card. You can't just get a card number and use it.
Mm.
But Americans are dumb and lazy, and we can't do that.
We pride ourselves on how dumb and lazy we are. It's awesome.
It's amazing.
Number one. Well, I know
I'd be
you got
Sorry, go
something
ahead.
to say. No,
Well, I was
no.
just going to say, now that we've talked about it a bit, I would be curious what some of the best and worst, basically lifetime, whether it be a contest or a purchase, you have this forever. I would be curious to see some of the best and worst case scenarios of those in history where they've gone wrong. And
Well,
where
that sounds
they've
like some
gone right.
great homework for you that you can bring back for next week.
Right.
Maybe.
I'm gonna let you think on that one, and
I'll expect a report at the start of next episode.
you can lead off the podcast next time with what you've come up with.
Well, I'll put that on the to-do list behind set up Truth Social account.
No. This is content. You need to do this part. of it.
Right.
Yeah. You brought it up. You're doing the homework.
This was more an audience.
Started
This was more an audience challenge.
No,
I mean, they're welcome to chime in as well, but I expect something from you next week.
lead by example.
I have so much AI work to do this week, but okay.
Well, we do appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
Especially because at the rate
today.
we do our podcasts, they won't hear it for 2 weeks.
Am I ever going to be able to end this goddamn podcast?
No, you're not.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Bertle, it's your turn. Try it.
Just say goodbye and just end it.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Roundabout Podcast. I was joined today by Austin Suddeth, Michael Levine, Tyler McClellan, myself, Hunter Brittle. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Threads. Yes, also Threads. And there's one other that I'm forgetting.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky. That's what it was.
Where can they
at
find
various-
the podcast, Brittle?
At various Roundabout handles. You can find our podcast anywhere that your podcasts are found. Spotify, YouTube, Amazon. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye.